So today I'm going to make a nice turkey kind of stuffing. So the most important when you do any recipe is to get all your ingredients first in the front of you, so you know, then afterwards is the flowing and the recipe is the best. So basically today I'm making this kind of my own kind of stuffing, which I really created the last 20 years. So it's basically a lot of everything. So you get a really lot of flavor. So perhaps when you're going to look at that, you're going to think, my God, it's a big piece, a lot of butter for the stuffing. But that's the way I like it. It's going to be a lot of butter. So that stuffing will make around for 15 people. But it's nice to have a bit more, so the next day you can have it cold or do it with a sandwich or stuff. So basically what I've done is I've done some very nice white onions. I've got some breadcrumbs. I put chicken mince, or you can do pork mince if you prefer, but I like chicken. Some fruits, so I've got cranberry and also some dry apricot, and also I'm going to put some nice pink lady apple in it, very diced the same way than this, some sage, butter and eggs. Okay, so basically the first thing we've got to do is take a heavy pan, okay, quite heavy, because you want the onions to reduce very slowly, but you don't want to give them any color. So if you go with a very thin pan, you're going to catch it and you're going to give color. So first thing to do is put this together on the stove. Okay, and I put a lid on, which is the most important, so that everything, the steam is going to keep everything nice and moist. So I'm just going to get that done in the same time. So again, I like to do my stuffing a day before, so it's got time to settle down and also to cool down completely, and the next day we can slice it. So if you're going to do it for Christmas, do it on the Christmas Eve, or even the day before. They can stay in the fridge for a few days anyway, so to make the life easy. So the stuffing will be definitely cooked, before you put the turkey in the oven, which is, I think that's very important. Okay, so you've got to be careful you don't. Again, I'm putting this kind of dry fruit, but that's just my kind of constructions. You can put some dry figs if you prefer, but anything you want in it. You can also put some chestnuts in the stuffing if you prefer. I don't put chestnuts. I find the chestnuts make my stuffing a bit dry, so I try to make a stuffing nice and moist. So you get the moist by putting a lot of onions in there. So I'm just going to put this in it. Just take it nice and easy. Also put a bit of salt. The salt helps quite nice to cook the onions and quite better and quicker. And also a bit of black pepper. Okay, I've got to stop for a minute because I've got to wait now for quite a bit, to do the rest. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. So now we've got these beautiful kind of buttered onions, which is nice and start to give a nice color. So I'm going to put the apple in it because I want to cook the apple slightly so they don't go dark. And I'm going to put that back on the stove and let it cook for 3 or 4 minutes, just enough for the apple to just cook enough, just to stop them going dark, and also give them a bit of a crunch. So also put the sage in. Okay, so again I put quite a lot of sage. I'm quite hard on my flavor. What I mean is sage. When it's been garlic, it's garlic. I always go. If I made any flavor to any dishes, I go for it. Yeah, it's very important. Okay, so that's nearly there. So this stuff is going to have a lot of different texture, with obviously the dry fruit. You could have a very nice, and also the white onion is going to stay slightly down. It's just enough to when you bite them, something coming out of that, and that's going to be all the onions going to be full of flavor from the butter. The butter is going to go inside the onions. So off we go. So then afterwards, when that is finished, I'm just going to cool it down a bit. I'm going to put my fruit in it, and afterwards you're going to need to wait a good 20 minutes before you can do anything to it, because you're going to need to put some eggs in it and the chicken mince and the breadcrumbs. So you don't want to make it when it's too hot because everything's going to cook very quickly in a pan, and you really want to keep everything kind of raw. This flavor already, the sage come out quite nicely. So this is what we're looking at.
Yeah.
So you can transfer everything else. I'm going to transfer to another dish. Okay, so just put this in there. And which is good, the stuffing is for the winter. You can put it outside to obviously speeding up the cooling process. It's not like the south of France here doing stuffing. When it's -2 or just about 1, the best fridge is outside. Okay, so like my mom used to do, she used to put that on the windowsill, you know, for a few hours or just half an hour, just enough to be able to handle it with your hands. Okay?
Okay.
That's it, we can leave a bit for that one, yeah? Right. Bit outside. It's a long way, so 10 yards.
Big house.
It's freezing outside. It's not hot. Anyway, that's the good point. It's freezing. That's cold now. So now you can see.
And that was about 20 minutes?
20 minutes, about 20 minutes, yeah. Right, so now we can actually physically use, you know, a bit of handle it with hand if we wanted to. So, best thing to do, first of all, that's basically the equivalent of a chicken breast, okay? So, like I said before, you can also use a pork. You pick pork mince, but you're gonna have the chipolata to go with you know, so your pork is already there. I'm putting 2 eggs just to blend everything together. Okay, which is important to this. So I'm going to mix that up, just to mix it a bit. Okay, and I'm going to use, I call it, it's called Paco breadcrumbs. Okay, so the difference between this one and this one, I don't like them. It's not because there's nothing wrong, but for that dish, it's very dry. This one, look.
Yeah, it's moist.
It's very moist. So what's going to happen with that one? It's going to suck everything in and get a lot of flavor. With this one, it's nice to break. This one is one to breadcrumb some sort of anything. With this one, because it's going to go inside, it's going to get infused. Yeah, it's much lighter. Okay, you buy them everywhere. It's available these days. So you mix that well. Okay, you're going to see it's quite a lot of it, but you know what? Nobody's going to throw stuffing away, especially this one because it's good. Not me, I'm not saying it. People at the restaurant actually, all the way through Christmas, buy it when they come to the restaurant. So your stuffing is good. Okay. So we've got the pre-order coming up. So people just go pay the bills and take a couple of sticks with them for Christmas Day. And I hope they say, I didn't make it. I bought it from La Bohème, a bit of, you know, advertising on Christmas Day from somewhere. It's not, you know. Okay, so now I mixed that very, very well. It's the question of putting this breadcrumbs in. Okay. So again, the breadcrumbs will take a couple of minutes just to soak it in, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so don't worry if you put too much breadcrumbs of it because it's so much butter in this. You know, it will stay nice and light. Okay. And you don't need to put it inside the turkey. Or, I mean, to be honest, people don't do all turkey these days. You know, even in the restaurant, we used to ask people. You know, we used to have like, what you call it, the dark meat with the legs.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody wants it anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, because I think it's just one of those things. I think people just don't like it.
I love it.
I know exactly. You know, but I mean, it's quite funny though because all my suppliers, if I ask them, can I have, you know, legs? They go, what do you want legs for? Exactly. Nobody wants legs anymore. Nobody actually, in a restaurant, nobody cooked. Well, obviously, the top restaurant, obviously, we're still doing the carvery and stuff. But we just go for the just turkey crowd, you know, just the top. So we can't get any more bones because the turkey bones go off very quickly anyway to make a stock. And it's very difficult to have the dark meat, you know, so because most of the restaurant, they just want, you know, the breasts, you know, the crown, no more the legs. So you can see that. And if you can hear the noise, it's good noise. It's appetizing noise. So we don't do stuffing in France, so it's quite good because my sister. No, not really, no. A bit, but not that kind of one. But my sister It's quite funny. French food, English food actually. I would say English food. Look the other way around. English food has become very popular in France because they open up. My sister, well, the first few years, my sister is a typical French lady. She won't eat anything bizarre. So when I said to her, for example, oh, in England we love lamb and mint, they go, ooh, that's awful. But now, when she comes, can you please do lamb and mint? You know, it's quite interesting on the table turn, isn't it? Because I think each country brings something. And that is a great one.
Yeah.
You know, so in France we do eat turkey, but with the stuffing and things, you know, perhaps in different parts of France they have it, but where I come from in the north, you know, we just don't have it.
Okay.
So, off you go. So now we are nearly there. I'm just gonna put a tiny bit more. What I like to do when I do it, because you do quite a bit, and the only things you got to really worry about this one is the seasoning.
Right.
Cool. So I would advise people, because you're making just one, just to take a tiny bit and pan fry it very quickly.
Okay.
Just to test it, to see if you're happy, because you're just going blind here. You just don't really know.
I was wondering how you're going to test it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not cooked.
It's not cooked, so I normally take a bit like that, okay, put it on the pan and test it, and say, right, okay, I need a bit more. You know, it's, don't rush it.
That's
you know, it's no point, you know, because really, sometimes you could go the other way around. You go, oh, it's not enough, so I put a bit more, but then a bit more, then a bit more, then a bit more. Then of a certain, in 2 weeks down the line, you've got too salty because you went every time you put more. So again, you got plenty of time. Why don't you rush it? Just take a bit, let it rest for a minute, you know, and just see how it is. And if you're not happy with it, just put whatever is needed. Perhaps sometime you're gonna go, oh, I want a bit more sage in it.
Yeah.
You know, cooking is not this and this, and you've got a wonderful dish. You've got to work with it always.
Yeah.
Okay, so from there, this is a fun speak on. Okay, so you need some cling film, and please buy good cling film. Okay, if it's a cheap cling film, it's because it's a reason, because it's just not good. Okay, so what I do is this. Okay, that's enough.
That was so rich.
It is there. Well, with Christmas we don't. Are we dieting on Christmas? No, we not. Okay, so now this is what I'm going to really test you now. To make this, you just turn it like that, okay? But then you press it down, okay? If I go like that, it's going to go, okay? So what I want to really is, so what I'm doing with it, I'm pressing it.
Yeah.
You can see it,
wow.
yeah?
Oh,
okay, and when I'm turning it, I'm going that way, so so first you cut it, then you roll it. So I'm rolling it, and when I'm rolling it, I'm pushing it with my finger. Yeah?
Yeah.
But if I don't push it properly there, you end up going that way. I'm gonna do you a bad one in a minute to see where it can go wrong.
Yeah, do a bad one. Yeah.
I'll do a bad one. I'm doing a bad one because I mean a bad one. I'm not doing it. I'm doing it on purpose. Okay, I've got a reputation, yeah? Okay? On both sides. Okay?
That's great.
Isn't it? I mean, it's clean film is the best thing ever happened. We wish I was Mr. Clean Film, because I will make a lot of money, because this is it. I don't know. Do you know what? I don't know what the chef couldn't cook with. I don't know what they managed without it. For, you know what I mean? It's so, they must have been very clever chef, because...
No, they just shove it in the turkey.
Exactly, as well, which is a good idea. But I mean, again, I pushed it a bit more in there. It's just really, there's no need to, because it's me, I like it kind of tight. Okay, so... Okay?
Brilliant.
Right, so I'm going to do a bad one.
Yeah, let's see the bad one.
Let's have a bad. I don't even know if I can do a bad one.
You can do a bad one.
Okay, I'm going to try a bad one. Okay, so a bad one is... That's a bad one.
Yeah.
Do you see? And just by, I'm not, because, I mean, it's okay, don't take me wrong. I mean, but it's going to come like that, and unfortunately the clean film inside will start to go in the middle. So I'm just going to take it off again. Put it back in there. And we do it again to double check you. And you know what? If it does, like, look, it's not done properly, start again. Okay, until you get it right. It's not easy. It's just the technique. When you got the technique afterwards, you'll be fine. I mean, at the restaurant, I do that with everything. Imagine I do like a full chicken completely with that in the middle, you know, the ballotine we call it. So again, top it. So you go really on the top like that, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, then from there, press it
Press it in.
and just, you know, just try to make it
Gently.
extending that side. And you pull it.
I think this is harder than it looks.
You want to have a go?
Yeah, because,
So then afterwards, basically you
yeah.
so just pull it. I know
You're
doesn't make
pulling
sense.
that and pushing it with your
I'm
thumbs.
pulling it and I'm pushing it.
Wow.
But it's pull it. Even if you pull it automatically that's
It pulls in.
it's because it's rolling it, it's pressing it. I'm just helping it. But even if I do that, I'm not going to pull it. But I'm just going to turn it. It's just take a bit longer.
Okay.
So I'm going to make and. So the most important is also don't put too much.
Yeah.
More you put, more problem you're gonna have it. If I put a lot, I'm
Yeah.
having going like that, then I'm struggling to
Yeah,
just
yeah.
make a knot. So we've got 3 now. So we can keep them in the fridge until you know, if you don't need to cook them straight away, Chris, but I like to cook mine straight on so it's done. So you've got 2 solutions. As for that, I'm just gonna show you. You can just put them in boiling water, straight on for 20 minutes. Oh, I'm just put a bit more water because you need to make sure you submerge them properly. Or you can steam them. You know, it doesn't matter. I was saying that to you, but if you steam them, funny enough, it's exactly the same time. So, off you go. Put it in the middle. Good 20 minutes to be cooked off. Just going to finish the last one.
Why do you put it in the? Are you putting one in the middle one afterwards as well?
Yeah, I'm just going to put one in the middle. Yes. So you know, so you see what we've made quite a bit there, but I think it's because I think the stuffing the next day, you know, it's not that cold. Nice little stuffing like that. You could also use the stuffing, which I use quite a lot actually on my book. I'm thinking I've got a few dishes I want to tune it in, and I've got a guinea fowl. I'm doing a dish, and because the guinea fowl is quite a small bird, you know, especially if you're using the breast, I'm thinking it will need a bit of more volume on meat. That could be perfect to go. You know, I mean, you know, people using it all the time for Christmas and stuff. But you know, this stuffing can go with pork. You know what I mean? It can go with anything.
Yeah.
You know, for Sunday lunch. You know, it doesn't need to be just for Christmas. You know, you can use it. You know, to do something else. A nice piece of chicken breast and that on the bottom. You know, it'd be quite nice. So, I've got to make. I made at the restaurant yesterday. I made 50 of those. 50, so that's going to give me roughly around 50, that's 200 portion. So I need to do like around 5 or 6 times a week, because we need around, well, at least that, we need around 500 or 700, 800 portion a week of stuffing.
Wow.
So that will keep me going. So putting that one back in there. So in 20 minutes, you can do something else. You can do the Bailey cheesecake, what we saw it before. You know, by the time, you know, that's what it's about, the cooking. Now, this is something you can do a day in advance, and it's not been a bit, oh my God, I've got this to do, this to do. The stuffing is done, the next day you can do the turkey instead, you know, so, okay?